Hi everybody. Today we're making chocolate cherry cake with chocolate frosting. What we'll need today are 2 cups of flour, a cup and 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, a half teaspoon of salt, 3/4 of a cup cocoa powder, a cup of sugar, a cup of brown sugar, 2 eggs, a half cup of butter, or 1 stick, 1 cup of regular milk, or if you're using buttermilk, you can skip the teaspoon of baking powder. And of course, you'll need 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract and 1 can or 21 ounces of cherry pie filling. And if you have them, definitely get some fresh cherries. I'm going to bring those along as I move forward. Okay, let's get started. Okay, before we start, remember to set your oven to 350 degrees. That'll be for 55 to 60 minutes, depending on your oven. And yes, please, as you watch this video, please click on like, and of course, please subscribe. Okay, let's get moving. The first thing we want to do is we want to cream our butter and our sugars together. Okay. Once we get it nice and crumbly, we can add our eggs. Once they're incorporated, let's get this out of the way and add our cherry pie filling. Let's fold that in. No, I'm not using the mixer anymore because I don't want to absolutely destroy the cherries. So that's why I'm using this, so as not to turn the cherries into mush. Okay. Once we get there, just folded those in. Let's pour in our milk. Once we have the milk incorporated, let's move on to the flour. Okay. Okay, now let's move in with the flour and the cocoa powder and the cinnamon. Let's get this moving. Let's get this incorporated. This is the flour, the baking powder, the cinnamon, and the baking soda, and a bit of the salt. Incorporate it. Let's get it moving in here. Once again, I wouldn't use the electric mixer here because you're going to totally destroy the cherries that you have in there. You don't want to turn them into mush, so you want to be a bit gentle. So what I like to do is use this implement, this dough hook, to get it mixed in. It may take a couple of extra seconds to do, but you'll be so much, you'll be so much happier in that you'll have more whole pieces of cherries in your final product. There you go. Now it's just getting in here, it's stiffening up because you're getting the rest of the flour incorporated. I'm going to dump the rest of it in there. As you can see, I didn't fully mix the dries together. That's okay. We're going to get them going on when they get inside. So they will mix properly as we stir it in. And it may seem like I'm getting more on the surface than I'm inside the product, but yes, it's staying. Most of it is staying inside the bowl, and it will turn out just fine. One nice thing about cooking with chocolate, as I like to look at it, is that you can't really mess it up that much. You got that chocolate saving you everywhere you go. So that's the way I like to look at it. Yes, I know you can mess up baking things, but it just, to worry about it too much while you're cooking is kind of counterproductive. It's a fun dish, cherry chocolate cake. Okay, now that I've got that done, I'm going to move over here and put it inside this. As you can tell, I have not taken the opportunity. Oh, that looks awful, doesn't it? Okay, I've not taken the opportunity to put the chocolate chips in yet, but that's going to happen in just a second as I get the rest of this where I want it to be. Let's hold off on this. Now I'm going to put my chocolate chips here on this topping, along with the cherries that I've cut up. I'm going to put them here. I did not want them beaten in and beaten down while I was mixing. I just want to make sure they're placed where I want them in the cake. So I've had some fresh cherries to go along with the cherry pie filling. Have them, make sure I've gotten all the pits out of them, of course. Just a minute. Okay, it's fine. That's done. The next step is to get it in the oven. And remember, we're going to put this in the oven for 55 to 60 minutes. And I'll see you soon. Now that our cake has had an opportunity to cool, let's whip up a little chocolate frosting. So I've got a bit of vanilla extract, a couple teaspoons or tablespoons of it in there. Add a stick and a half of butter, as well as 2.5 cups of powdered sugar, a half cup of cocoa powder, and about 3 tablespoons of cream or milk. If your butter is softened, then this will come together pretty quickly. This makes a very silky, smooth chocolate frosting. If it's too thick, you can add a little bit more milk to it or cream. If it's too thin, then you just add a bit more confectioner's sugar. But we won't know it until we get a good whip on this. I like to whip it for about a minute. That gives me, or gives it a chance to get a bit of air in it. And that allows it to spread a little bit more evenly. What you'll see as you go through this, you'll watch it lighten up a little bit. So it goes from that deeper, darker color to a bit of a lighter color. That air is getting in it, which is what you want. It'll be easier to spread, and it'll be lighter on the cake itself, fluffier. So set about a minute. We are right. It doesn't have to be exactly a minute. You can sort of feel it happening. Right there. That looks good. That's good. That's nice and silky. That's it. Let's get this out of the way and bring on the cake so we can frost it. Here, move you and move you. Let's see. Move this in just a little bit better so you can see it. Yes, that chocolate cherry cake came in really, really nice and dark. The cherries are little extra cherries that I threw in there. If you get it in there for about 55, this time it did take between 55 and 60 minutes before I was happy with it. So there you go. And this is making enough icing to give the cake the coverage that I want. I never will win any prizes for my cake decorating skills. I tend to get it in there and get it on and be ready to go. Oh no, I didn't realize I had messed it up that badly on this side. Okay, come on now. There you go. There you go. Let's get some coverage there. Don't need to see that. And we'll go along this side. Some coverage over here. And we are great. Looks good on this side. Maybe a little bit too much in the middle. Maybe that's why I'm not getting the coverage I want. I got too much in the middle. Yeah. Let's get that out of there. There you go. And that is that. A little bit more on this side. We're great. Now comes the best part. Because I'm going to give it a hack here and a hack there. Because I want you to see what we've got. You've got your cherries. Here. You can see it is well cooked, moist. There's a cherry there, and that is looking good. That's it. Thank you. I've really enjoyed this as I normally do. I'm gonna slice off, oh wow, a piece for myself. Have a great day.